What is going on, you guys? First of all, ignore my lunch in the background. It's absolutely, it's okay. It's like potatoes and spaghetti. We're not really working too hard around here lately. But this video, when you see this video, obviously it's going to be in the future. This is going to be quite some time in the past. I'm recording this because I want to record a supplement video. I don't have the supplements I wanted to talk about in the video, but I wanted to get this across because I had an idea. It was fresh, and I thought I could articulate it best if I do it right now, like in the moment. And so instead of waiting, instead of scripting, I'm going to do it. I got something for you guys. It is nothing special, but it's very useful, right? It's a link to a GBT agent for OpenAI. You guys, I'm sure we all know about artificial intelligence and like the large language models and those things like that, and how they can compile information and throw an answer back at you that is semi-useful, right? Like it can be a good starting point. And so I have the paid subscription of ChatGPT because the free version kind of sucks. This is not a show for that. Like, there should be like a better product, hopefully very soon, like competitive markets and all that good stuff. But I paid for it. You can create GBTs. I created a fitness one. I fed it a ton of fitness books, like diet books, nutrition books, hypertrophy books, strength training books, right? And the reason I did that is because the GBT, or this AI is really good at taking information and synergizing it like together and kind of combining it to give you one, like a fresh but intelligent science-based perspective, but two, like it can recall like these little things, and it can help like with the little things we may forget over time, right? We all watch TV, whatever, or like you read a lot, and like you accumulate a lot of information during the day, right? Like in Grand Theft Auto 5, like when you're like pulling off that robbery for like that bank, whatever, the jewelry store, Michael grabs someone. And I'll never forget. He's like, you see a million things every day and forget them. Let this be one of them, right? And like that's real. Like you see so much stuff. Sometimes it's hard to realize like what you forgot because you forgot it, right? And the GBT is useful in this regard because it is filled to the brim with fitness information. And so like if you have a question, say, let's give it some examples. Say you have an injury, right? First of all, it's a robot, not a trained professional. So let's move forward with that in mind. It can give you advice, but it probably won't be as good as perfect. But it's a starting point, right? The starting point gives you an idea. The idea leads to execution. Execution leads to improvement, right? So the GBT, say you have an injury, like you hurt your shoulder, whatever, you can ask the GBT for variations of an exercise that won't affect that, right? And it's a lot easier than commenting on your favorite YouTuber stuff. Maybe you have to wait a little longer. It's a lot more specific and useful in my opinion than just Googling the question, right? The GBT can give you like tailored answers. It can ask specifics about the pain so you know what to do, what not to do, how long to expect it, your next course of action, right? The GBT can do all these things faster than a human can. It can pull information. I filled it with a lot of diet tips. So if you got like a diet question, just start the question. Bam, you can get specifics. It can tell you what to eat. All these little things that we don't think about, the GBT can do really seamlessly. So I said exercise variations for like pain, or even if you want to switch it up, right? It can teach you the next thing to do in the program if you don't know. It's very hard to get the answer if you don't know the question, right? But GBT, going back and forth, I've learned you can kind of beat around the bush and figure it out from there, right? Another example that I like using the GBT for, we all seen supplements, right? Like there are a ton of things on a supplement jar, right? Like most of them have a ton of ingredients, and it's like, do I really need all these? Like I made a video about it a couple months ago at this point, about like protein and like how they will say they put certain compounds in there, but it's at a dose that won't be effective or beneficial to you, right? So the compounds in there, they claim the benefits so they can sell it to you for a higher price, but it doesn't do jack. And so GBT, like back to the story, I was in GNC, they're having a sale. All these supplements are for sale, right? It's the end of the year. And I'm gonna say this in the video, I kind of like almost slightly adopted an experimenting mindset on myself, right? Like safely, I'm not gonna experiment with like steroids. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. But like supplements and stuff, like if these things give me a 1% difference, if they make a difference, hey, they're useful. And so I was in GNC, didn't know what the supplements did, took a picture of the supplements, took a picture of the nutrition, sent it to ChatGPT, this GBT, the fitness one I created, and basically in 5 to 10 minutes, I was a basic expert on this supplement, right? Like, not a real expert, but I knew what it did. I knew an effective dose. I knew what it could be useful for and what types of populations could benefit the most from it, right? Like, if you are a strength athlete, you don't need a supplement that increases endurance, and GBT can help you find the answers to these questions. Even further, it helped me find out like that was not a good price per serving, so I was able to find it somewhere else. It can tell you all the ingredients, like what's necessary, what's kind of wasteful. And so I wanted to share this with you guys. This came out a little longer than I expected. I will post the link below. It's just, again, this is the GBT. I use it myself, right? I uploaded these books. When I'm stuck, when I'm confused, I asked it for help. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm arguing with a robot. Sometimes I'm asking this robot for resources to do my own research. Sometimes I'm asking if I have a valid point or if this is BS, right? All these things, very useful. And dang, I forgot to say this earlier. Like, if you've ever seen like RP Science or like the Juggernaut training, like this is very akin, similar to those AI training apps that they release for people. The only difference is obviously those are app specific, those are tailored on it. Those probably have a little more specificity. They're definitely better than this one, right? But if you find that kind of stuff useful and can't get down with that price point just yet, this can be like that in the middle bridge. Again, it's free. You just talk to the bot, get some answers, get better, get an idea, execute, improve. So I hope you guys find this useful.